Hi, and thanks so much for joining me for this Get Ready With Me featuring my September favorites. If you'd like to see that, please keep watching. Let's go ahead now with the foundation, the Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer Long Wear Makeup SPF 19. I do have an SPF under this, the brightening one by SkinCeuticals, so I have an extra layer of sunscreen underneath. Make sure to shake this well. This is really fluid texture, so you can see right here, yeah, it's very thin and lightweight. You can see the difference between my arm and my face, just a difference in tone. So it's just a really thin layer. I didn't put on that much at all, but it's just enough to even everything out. Again, it's just slightly lighter for where I am right now, but in the winter it'll be perfect. But I really like the lightweight feel of this. And that'll be going in with some products that will give me a little bit more color, so it'll all come together. Nothing new here. SISLEY under eye concealer, and some of you have mentioned how long this lasts. It does last quite a long time. So even though the price tag is higher, it lasts a long time. This is the brush that comes with the Sublimage foundation by Chanel. And then we have the Clé de Peau in Mocha. I'll make sure to update you on the Chanel concealer, or the color corrector actually, in the favorites video. It still will have a place in my makeup routine. It just, this one works so much better with foundations. And there isn't a foundation I've encountered where this doesn't play well with it. So that's another reason why I continue to use that one over and over. Plus the sunscreen. There is sunscreen in here. Keep these spots away from the sun. Chantecaille Real Skin. I'm really interested in their eye primer they just came out with. I'll put a little image of it here. Neiman Marcus came out with it first. I'll list it if I find it anywhere else. And I'm so lucky that they send me PR, but I'm never sure if or when it's coming, so if I don't receive it, I'll definitely pick it up. If you didn't see the concealer video, why I do all of these various concealers on one face, I'll try to remember. I always say I'll link the video. I'll try to remember to link the video below, just so you can see the rationale behind why I use each one of these concealers. But so far nothing, and it's been months and months of this same routine, because I do try new concealers. I just haven't found any that exceed these in terms of performance for these specific areas. But I'll keep trying and definitely keep you posted. Now that took me about 7 minutes, which is really good because before this would take me at least a half an hour just because of the spots. So we've really trimmed down the time in terms of getting ready as well. I'm gonna set with this. This is the Perfect Blur Powder. This is the second iteration of this. The first one was the Hummingbird packaging. This was the limited edition Flower Power. It is now in the Pebble packaging. I'll leave a picture here, and it's more widely available. In fact, I just saw it on Beautylish today. So Beautylish, Nordstrom, I'm not sure if Chantecaille has it back yet, but I will leave all the retailers where this is available now in case you wanted to pick it up, because so many people were waiting for it and now it's finally widely available. So we're gonna go in with the light medium. Oh yeah, so I had questions. Do I set with another powder before this? It really just depends. So if I want really long-lasting makeup or really perfected look, I'll set with something like a Clé de Peau loose powder. That's my favorite loose powder, and then finish with this. Everything stays put for hours. However, on the daily, I do just go in and set with this, as well as wear it as my finishing powder. We're gonna do something different today. We're gonna set with this, and then we're gonna go in with something else. It does some blurring in the front here for me, which is another reason why I love this one so much. So we're gonna go in now with the Hourglass palette. This one is the Ambient Lighting Edit, and I had a question or a comment that maybe it was a little too heavy-handed. So I'm gonna try this brush. This is the Hourglass brush. I don't remember which one this is, but it gets in there nicely, so I like that. That's one of the tricks of this palette, is finding a brush that fits in there without picking up other color in the other pans. So this one fits really nicely in there. So I'm gonna actually sweep this on, which is not what I normally do with finishing powders. I usually use the Buff and Blur brush because I love this for stamping, so I don't disturb makeup. But I think that other powder may have really set that nicely. So let's just try. But, well, I'm gonna still stamp. I can't help myself. I just don't want to sweep anything out of place here. So this is definitely a more gentle application, just sweeping it on. Yeah, just being really careful not to sweep the makeup out of place though. So you can see how the foundation being lighter is okay because this adds a little bit of color, because this Radiant Light, yeah, the finishing powder has a little bit of color compared to my natural color right now. So that's another thing too, if you like the finish of this powder but it's a little bit deep for you, you can go in with a foundation that's maybe a little bit light for your coloring at the time, and then just go in with this and add that color back. But I really love the filtered effect of this powder, and so that's another reason I'm so happy that I tried this again. I just haven't used this powder for such a long time. I also added brows, nothing new here still. I'm loving this Gucci pencil, and those of you who have picked it up have let me know that you love it as well. I just love that it doesn't have like shiny reflective quality to it. Color match is really great as well. And I do love the Chantecaille brow gel. It has color to it, but it's not really heavy like some of the other ones are. So it's a full brow perfecting gel and tint. Let's go ahead with this again. We're gonna bronze now. And I found this, I meant to find it for the video, but now I've actually located it. So I wanna go around the perimeter with this one right here, this side. It's the, I think the Hourglass Edit brush, and it's a great size for each one of these pans. And I like this especially for the hairline area. Get really in there really well. Let's go ahead with blush, and I love these blushes, so we're just going to take the other side of this brush. Again, it fits really nicely in that pan. And this one I can bring all the way up to the front here. I just realized I skipped eyes. Okay, that's how much fun I have using this palette. We're gonna have to do eyes here in a moment. So let me just add the blush, because that helps me balance out how much blush I need. So we might have to take this blush down. So we'll see. Let's just get this layer and then we'll add the other one. As always, I use this hummingbird powder to just kind of buff everything together. And then also take down any excessive kind of reflective quality or shine right in the middle. So I think it just really softens everything. Okay, let's go in with eyes. So let's take a couple of these Tisse palettes, and I revisited my Tisse palettes when I ranked them a few videos ago, or I'm not quite sure how long ago that was, but we're gonna go in with two of them. So Tisse Essentiel, which is more muted and softer and not as shimmery as this one, which we'll also go in with Tisse Rivoli. So make sure to see that one if you want to see some close-ups, some swatches. So we're going to take this color right here in the Tisse Essentiel, and that is a nice, really kind of neutral shade. And yeah, so even though I love this one so much, the Real Skin for a primer, it will crease if I add too much. So I'm really looking forward to trying out the other product that they've come out with. The primer. Oh, that's what it's called. Okay, so that just adds just the slightest amount of color. We're gonna go in the crease with this shade right here. This is Tisse Rivoli. So this is like a cooler version of my favorite Chantecaille eyeshadow, which is Java. And I put that in the crease. It has a bit of shimmer in it. Beautiful shade. I'm gonna take this and blend it a little bit. Just a pretty soft dimension building kind of shadow. By the way, I don't talk about these that much, but I use them all the time. I just forget to mention them, but these wing Goss brushes, if you have smaller eyes like I do, these are perfect because they really make application so much better and easier. Just gonna take some of this lighter shade and place that under the brow, and then I'm gonna use that to help blend these together as well. So you can see it just softens that without being shiny. Okay, now we're going to go in with this deeper shade here. A number 20 brush. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of this color and add that. It just softens it, that transition. I just want to take some of that same color and then just go a little bit above the crease with that. I'm going to go underneath as well with the same shade. So I'm going to just put Gris Graphite in the waterline. Chanel. I like that because it's nice and soft, but it neutralizes any red in the waterline for me. I want to emphasize the more purpley tones in here, so I'm going to take Violet Damask by Chantecaille and Tightline. Let's go above the lash line with Chantecaille's Amethyst. Little kitten wing. Okay, I just want to intensify that lash line. I'm going to take Violette here by Chantecaille, and these are the very, very fine brushes on the end that make this really powerful. So I'm just going to lay this against the lash line like this. Almost in the lash line, just to intensify without being obvious. So there's the difference between using Violette right as close to the lash line as possible versus not using it. So I'm gonna go ahead and even this up, add mascara, and then we'll finish everything up. And of course I've gone in with my favorite mascara, Chantecaille's Faux Cils Longest Lash Mascara. So let's go ahead and add a little bit more blush because I wanna layer them as always. So now we're gonna go in with this other blush color, the deeper of the two, and I'm just gonna use the same brush and just add a little, ooh, I wasn't paying attention. A little bit is necessary. In fact, let me just use my brush here to remove some of that, blend it in. Little goes a long way. And then let's go ahead and use this powder again. See why I love this so much. And just buff that all in. Just cleaning up a little bit of the edges here with my Clé de Peau concealer here. I have so many favorite lipsticks, but I'm glad I took this one out again. It's the one by Chanel 192 Profondeur. I really love the hair products I'm using, so I'm going to make sure to talk about those because I film actually this first and then I film the Get Ready With Me. No, this is the Get Ready With Me. I film the Get Ready With Me and then I do my favorites, so I'll make sure to throw in the hair products I'm using as well because I feel like my hair is a little bit easier to style. I don't know, it might be my imagination. I also got a different brush, so that might be helping. Usually I wear my hair back when I'm having trouble with it, so I picked this fragrance because I think it's such a lovely fall fragrance because there's a spice element in there, which when I think of fall, I think of spice. It's by House of Sillage. Let me of course pull up the notes. This is the Whispers of Truth Noir. If you're not familiar with their packaging, it's very exquisite, modeled after high jewelry. So You can see the Swarovski crystals. I think there are more on this one than the other ones in this collection. There are 200 hand-placed Swarovski crystals on here, also plated in 18 karat gold, so very, very fancy. But the notes are suede, orange, grapefruit, warm spices at the top. And I love grapefruit, and those warm spices really come through. Heart notes are vetiver, rose, leather, smoky notes. So if you like that smoky leather scent, you're gonna love this. Musk, moss, caramel, amber, white, woods, birch are the base notes. So this is geared towards both men and women, and my husband loves this scent as well. Yeah, this one's really beautiful. It takes a moment to settle in a bit because I think that citrus really comes through on initial spray. Like I can really smell the citrus, but then it really mellows out and you get that leather scent, which I love that so much. And there's a bit of that smokiness, but you can smell that citrus. It's just not as strong once it settles in and then the spice starts to come through. So very complex, very full-bodied, really, really beautiful fragrance, especially for these fall temperatures. But that is it for this look using my September favorites. Again, let me know what you've been loving in September. I always love to hear what those things are because usually if there's a promotion and it's a little bit slow in terms of new releases, I will go back to that list and pick up some of your recommendations. But that is it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.